The coolest part of my job is that every year there's new amazing people that come into the program. And the bittersweet part of my job is every year there's amazing people that leave the program too. But when people leave the program, they don't just stop there. They keep growing and becoming even more awesome than they already were. The biggest thing I'm most proud of with Sarah, and I see with a lot of the alumni that are here around the track, is what she's doing right now is transitioning through track and field, not from it. What Sarah's done is she's built from all the skills that she did as an athlete to become the most successful woman she can be. And on that note, I'm gonna wrap it up before I go any further. So without further ado, Sarah Wells, folks.
I remember when I came to U of T for university, my very first year, I got my very first big injury. And so I assumed, okay, maybe I was like a good high school athlete, but that's probably gonna be it. Like I won't amount to anything from here. And as Dave and Carl heard me talk about how I felt about my progression and my success, they called me into Carl's office, and Carl and Dave sat me down and said, you know, we see big things for you. We can see that you could be an Olympian one day, and talent doesn't just go away. And it meant so much to me in those moments to hear Carl, to hear Dave believe in me in the moments when I didn't. And I was so lucky to be part of this program at U of T, to have Carl, to have Dave. You were the type of people that stood by your word. And you're the type of people who continue to support me with or without the fast results on the track. So the lesson that I take with me is that when we're faced with rejection, when we hear a no, when there's a hiccup in the plan, that it's not a sign to give up. It's not that we're not enough. It's not that there isn't another way. I hope that my career could be an example of that hard work won't always lead to success, but being resilient will always lead to another opportunity for it. As I moved through my career and I made the switch from being coached by Dave to being coached by Bob, Bob always used to say when we'd be in anticipation of a big workout or a brutal final interval, is he would say, don't think about how hard it's gonna be, think about how hard you're gonna work. And that perspective shift is everything. Because we can get so caught up on focusing on things that are out of our control. We can wallow in the discomfort that we feel, even though we have the capacity to switch that. So when we are feeling uncomfortable, anticipating a job, a big project, embarking on something new and scary, don't think about how hard it's gonna be. Think about how hard you're gonna work. The pursuit of the Olympic Games became the dream. Many of you were there with me back on the day of 2012 Olympic trials, where I ended up having the race of my life. And with all the pressure, all the stress, all the expectation of an Olympic trials, I win the race. And I go to the London Olympic Games, and it was insane. And wouldn't it be nice if I decided to retire then and I sailed off into the sunset with a successful career? No, instead, I trained for the next 4 years. 4 years later, 4 years of work, 4 years of workouts, 4 years of sweat. And 2 months before the 2016 Olympic trials, I do a workout on a day I should have never worked out. And so I work out anyways. And I end up tearing my hamstring. And 4 years after I thought I had already overcome the biggest obstacle in my career, I now learn another hard lesson. And we try to rush back, we do everything we could, and by the time Olympic trials came around, I probably got to about 90%. And I stood on the start line and I tried to repeat as much of 2012 of what I did behind my blocks then in this new moment in 2016. And I closed my eyes and I said to myself over and over again, I believe in me. I felt I could still do it, but in the end, I got fourth. And I missed qualifying for the Olympics by half a second. Following that moment, I took the year off sport because I needed time. Afterwards, I started the Believe Initiative, which is my youth organization, and it's the next part of my chapter that absolutely fills my soul. I didn't think I would find anything that I love as much as I love the sport of track and field, and I love the Believe Initiative. And while in 2012, I thought if you believed in yourself, you achieved your goals. In that year off, when I did all this reflection, I realized that you don't build self-belief through achievements, you build self-belief through action. And that's what the program does, is it helps students build self-belief through action. I also understand why I needed to go through both sides of that story. Because while I'm standing on stages and sharing my story with people, far more people come up to me after the fact and say they were more inspired by the time where I didn't make the Olympics over the time where I did. Because I've been the person who's made the tough choices, who's got back up, who's been resilient, who's believed in myself so strongly, and I've had the triumphant finish where I make it to the Olympic Games, and it's awesome. But then I've been the person who's made the tough choices, who's got back up, who's been resilient, who's believed in themselves so strongly, and it just didn't work out. And so my retirement words of wisdom are that in your own pursuit of excellence, in track and field or in any area of your life, that you don't let it be about the PBs, the medals, the awards you win. Because what I've come to realize is that you don't find success in achievements. You find success in action. You find success in being brave enough to be afraid and do it anyways. Part of taking action is that sometimes you'll make it, but sometimes you won't. And that's what makes the pursuit so exciting. Continuously being willing to try, to get back up, maybe find a different vessel to get to what you thought was success. Every person in this room has enabled me to grow and strive for my potential. So to every meet official, if they're still here, all the U of T staff, every teammate in this room, every smiling face who's ever been around the track, to Ed, to Dave, to Bob, to Carl, to my siblings, my parents. You guys have made me the person I am today, and it's a person I'm incredibly proud to be. To the Believe Initiative, my incredible partner, Blake, you empower me to make me feel strong in this next step. You're my future. It's been an incredible journey. And though I don't remember every minute, I certainly remember every moment. And those moments will inspire the beginning of my next chapter. So thank you to everyone for being here to celebrate this moment, because it's one I'll never forget. Cheers to what's next.